Now at 5, getting ready to give the biggest gift of all this Christmas. We'll meet a Southwest Washington wife who's donating a vital organ to her husband. Plus, Pope Leo delivers his first Christmas message since becoming pontiff, what he had to say about things here in the U.S. And sorry everyone, you did not win the $1.8 billion Powerball jackpot. We'll take you to the place where someone bought the winning ticket. Good evening and thanks for joining us on this Christmas day. I'm John Adams. We're going to start off tonight in Southern California where 6 counties are under a state of emergency. Heavy rains have led to flooding with mud and debris flows rushing into neighborhoods, causing havoc and leading to rescues around the region. About 150,000 electrical customers woke up with no power this morning. A big part of the problem, a lot of this happening in spots that got scorched by those wildfires back in January. Those burn scar zones have been stripped of vegetation and are less able to absorb water. Well, we've seen our share of heavy rain over the last few weeks here in the Portland metro, but things are looking mostly dry this weekend. Let's check in with Celine Stevens, who's got our post-Christmas forecast for us. Merry Christmas, Celine. Merry Christmas, John. Yeah, we had a pretty nice Christmas. Okay, it wasn't pouring rain, so that's always a win, especially given the last 2 weeks. But we have a great shot right here looking at our Wells Fargo Tower sky camera, sitting at 47 degrees at the moment. Those winds only going at a light 11 miles per hour. And taking a look at our radar over the last few hours, we had a little bit of shower activity early this morning, but we haven't even seen 1/10 of an inch of rain. So very minimal rainfall again compared to what we saw these last 2 weeks. Portland's been staying dry the last few hours. The only thing we're really continuing to look at is the winter weather advisory for the central and northern Oregon Cascades as well as the South Washington Cascades. That goes into effect early tomorrow morning, lasting through Saturday afternoon. We could see up to 11 inches of snow and elevations above 4,000 feet. So if you're headed that way after Christmas, prepare for winter travel. Temperatures right now, 47 here at home, 46 in Troutdale, lots of 40s, more 40s along the coast as well. But as we get into the next few days, expect those temperatures tomorrow to be cooler. We're looking at upper 40s, rainy tomorrow, but then good news, we get to the weekend and we're looking mostly dry. I'll have more for you in a bit. All right, Celine, thanks so much. We'll see you soon. Now at 5, firefighters are mopping up after a fire broke out inside of an Oregon City church. Crews responded to the Reformation Covenant Church just after 2 o'clock. Firefighters say the flames were spotted between the church's new roof and the old roof underneath. That made it tough for fire crews, but fortunately, no one was injured in that fire. Take a look at what crews had to deal with in Washington County last night. Fire broke out in this 2-story home along Roy Rogers Road just after 6:30, but crews had to go back at around midnight when heavy winds helped reignite the fire. Everyone managed to get out of the home safely, but the damage to the building is extensive. The Red Cross is helping the family out tonight. One firefighter was treated for exhaustion, but was able to return to work.
It's terrible to see it like this.
Video shows fire crews rescuing dozens of birds in Beaverton after a home that does double as a bird store suddenly caught on fire. No one was hurt, including the birds. However, the business owner says the fire has essentially left her broken. Jay Coulter has her story.
This is what remains of the busy bird store after last week's fire, but thankfully all the birds inside at the time were able to be rescued.
All this stuff is damaged because of smoke and water.
Beverly Moreland has owned and operated Busy Bird Store out of her Beaverton home for more than 20 years.
It's really hard to see my store like this.
She's been a bird lover since she got her first parakeet when she was only 5. And her store was a one-stop shop for food, toys, trims, and even boarding.
And I made bird toys, and I made these white swings right here. I'd made them for way many more years before the store. I made some birds like a bed to sleep in. I made those.
So when the fire sparked Wednesday night at her home near Watson and 5th Avenues, she was terrified.
A lot of them did not belong to me, that I was babysitting them, and I was really upset about that.
This body camera video shows firefighters working to rescue the birds still in their cages. Some had to be captured in nets to be moved to safety.
The next thing I know, they were carrying them out. Yep. And that was a big relief because I was so worried that I was killing someone else's bird.
Fire investigators determined the blaze sparked outside the home and the cause was accidental. And while all the birds, more than 24, survived, Moreland says she and her tenant have been displaced indefinitely, and this is probably the end for her business.
I wasn't ready to close yet. I was going to try to make it 5 more years. I'll decide in a year what I want to do. But because of my age, I don't know if I should start it again, but we'll see.
In total, all 28 birds survived and are being kept in a house down the street, courtesy of a Good Samaritan. Jake Holter, KGW News.
Thousands of U.S. service members are spending their Christmas as the U.S. continues a military buildup in the Caribbean. A Navy cargo ship docked in Puerto Rico last night, the latest U.S. ship to arrive in the region. The buildup is part of an increase in pressure campaign, which has included more than 24 military strikes on vessels near Venezuela, which have killed at least 100 people. The Trump administration says it's fighting an influx of drugs coming into the U.S. from Venezuela. Pope Leo delivered his first Christmas message this morning. In his speech, he called for an end to all global wars, specifically talking about the situations in Ukraine and Southeast Asia. The Pope, who has made care for immigrants a key theme in his first year as Pope, lamented the situation for migrants and refugees who, quote, traverse the American continent. The Pope said refusing to help the poor and strangers was tantamount to rejecting God himself. Tonight, an extra special Christmas in Southwest Washington. A husband celebrating his wife of 45 years who will soon be donating him a kidney. Alma McCarty has their story.
In Kelso,
she's been nothing but good to me.
A quiet Christmas for John and Kim Gunther.
It gets more real every day we talk about it.
The couple anticipating big changes in the new year.
It's the big one, yeah.
It's the big one, yeah.
A gift from Kim to John.
I have some kind of hope because when I first got this kidney stuff, I thought it was a death sentence, honestly.
Her kidney deemed by doctors to be a perfect match following months of paperwork and lab work.
Everything was negative, and I said, oh, that's too bad. And she said, no, negative is good. It's very unusual, like 1 in 100,000 people, yeah, will match a spouse.
In less than a month, husband and wife will be here to undergo surgery at the VA in Portland. It's something the two of them have been hoping for since last year.
And I was pretty good for quite a while.
Yeah, just all of a sudden, probably last October of 2024, he suddenly didn't feel good and his kidney function had really dropped.
Then came dialysis and referrals for a transplant.
We were joking. They said, oh, you can ask a relative or friends. It's like, yeah, I got some good friends, but I don't know if I got that good of friends.
But now his best friend, his spouse of 45 years, will soon step in. This present a benefit to the both of them.
I just think it'll give him such a better quality of life and make it easy. We like to travel, so it'll make it easier to travel without carting this big machine around that we have. And yeah, it's pretty exciting to just think, part of me will help him,
Forever.
Forever.
In Kelso, Alma McCarty, KGW News.